welcome to Dreamy Sleep Tales, a journey that will carry you high above the world you know, into a place where whispers of wind become melodies, and clouds unfurl like pages in a grand celestial atlas. Tonight, we embark on Caelum's first voyage as the newly chosen cloud cartographer. So, settle into your coziest blanket. Feel the gentle lull of your breath, and let the soft cadence of these words guide you into the realm of dreams. Caelum had always been a dreamer. Even as a child, he gazed at the horizon with quiet wonder, certain that the sky contained secrets far greater than any he could learn on the ground. In the small village of Lyriel, nestled between rolling hills and ancient pines, tales of floating islands and night sky kingdoms were passed down from one generation to the next. Yet, no story had captured Caelum's imagination more than those whispered by the elders. Stories of a cloud cartographer, a solitary explorer tasked with mapping the hidden territories that drifted among the stars. On the eve of his 18th birthday, Caelum found himself standing at the edge of the village's highest cliff. The moon hung luminous and wide, its reflection glimmering on the distant sea. His heart thrummed with anticipation, for tonight was the night of the convergence ceremony, when the veil between earth and sky grew thin, and the sky compass would seek its next guardian. According to legend, only one person in a generation could hear the gentle hum of the compass calling. Caelum had believed it to be nothing but a fable until tonight. A hush fell over the gathering. Villagers clad in soft pastel robes formed a semicircle around a polished marble dais. Flickering lanterns cast dancing patterns on the cobblestone, while the elders, their faces etched with reverence and hope, chanted an ancient incantation. Caelum's palms grew damp as he stepped forward, curiosity mingling with a trace of fear. He knelt before the dais, head bowed, and closed his eyes, allowing the murmur of voices to fill his mind. Suddenly, the air shifted. A breeze, warm and scented with midnight jasmine, carried the faintest melody, a single crystalline note that resonated within Caelum's chest. He opened his eyes to find a delicate object hovering above the dais, the sky compass. Crafted from moon-touched silver and inlaid with stardust, it resembled a small circular prism. Its surface shimmered as though animated by unseen currents of wind. As Caelum extended a tentative hand, the compass tilted gently, as if recognizing the touch of its new bearer. A hush of awe enveloped the assembly. The head elder, a woman named Astriel, stepped forward with a voice both commanding and tender. Caelum, bearer of the sky compass, the destiny of the clouds now unfolds at your command. When you awaken at midnight, climb aboard your vessel, Nimbus, the cloud ship, and let the compass guide you to the realms that await your discovery. Caelum rose, the compass cradled against his heart. Around him, the villagers offered hushed condolences, knowing full well that with this gift came a singular responsibility: to disappear each night into the sky and forsake the world below until dawn. Yet in their eyes, Caelum saw pride, hope, and a belief that he could chart wonders unseen. With the ceremony concluded, the village retreated to their homes, leaving Caelum alone at the cliff's edge. He stared upward, where gentle clouds drifted across the moon's silver face. Somewhere among them lay Nimbus, his vessel, crafted from the softest nebula and tethered by moonbeams. He closed his eyes and listened to the steady beating of his heart, aware that at the stroke of midnight, his life would change forever. And so, as the final minutes of dusk dissolved into the hush of night, Caelum took a steadying breath. The sky compass pulsed like a heartbeat of its own. In that instant, he knew that the adventure awaiting him would reveal wonders that even his wildest dreams could not yet imagine. As the clock's hands converged at midnight, a hush fell over Caelum's chamber. Moonlight streamed through the open window, illuminating the sky compass resting on his bedside table. Its stardust inlay glimmered like a constellation, and with a soft hum, it lifted into the air, beckoning Caelum to follow. Heart thundering, Caelum slipped into a simple cloak, pale cerulean, embroidered with tiny silver threads that caught the moonlight. He secured the sky compass around his neck, its weight comforting against his chest. With cautious steps, he descended the wooden stairs of his home and emerged into the courtyard, where a faint luminescence shimmered among the clouds. There, perched upon a low-hanging cloud, was Nimbus, his vessel for the nights to come. Crafted from the purest cloud mist and bound together by ribbons of moonbeam, Nimbus resembled a graceful ship drifting in the sky. Its hull was pillowy soft, yet solid enough to support Caelum's weight. Billowy sails of vapor billowed gently, filled by invisible currents of wind. At the helm stood Ryan, the ship's caretaker, and a kindly figure with eyes that seemed as effeminate as the night sky. "Welcome, Caelum," Ryan greeted, voice as soft as drifting fog. He stepped forward, offering a glove wreathed in a faint glow. "The sky compass led you here. Are you prepared for your first voyage as cloud cartographer?" Caelum nodded, sliding his hand into Ryan's glove. Immediately, he felt a tingle, like a gentle vibration running through his bones. It was as if Nimbus acknowledged its master. The deck beneath his feet swayed ever so slightly, and the sails shifted to catch a newfound breeze. In that moment, the world below fell away, and the sky opened up in grand expanse. "Hold tight," Ryan whispered, and with a soft exhalation, Nimbus lifted from the cloud platform. The sensation was akin to floating on a cushion of air. The village lights flickered below, shrinking into pinpricks of warmth as Caelum glanced back. Then, the horizon ahead unfurled a tapestry of drifting clouds, each one glowing faintly under the moon's embrace. The sky compass, suspended before Caelum's eyes, glowed brighter, its arrow aligning toward a distant shape, an enormous form that bobbed among the clouds. "The whale-shaped cloud island," Ryan murmured. "It sings lullabies that calm even the restless winds. We will chart its shores and record its melodies." As Nimbus glided closer, Caelum could hear the faint hum, like a chorus of distant voices carried on the wind. The whale-shaped island was a marvel. Its vast, cloud-like form curved gracefully, tail flicking in patterns of vapor. Across its back, wisps of spray drifted like mist, illuminated by starlight. Below, a gentle rumble resonated through the air as if the island itself exhaled. Ryan guided Nimbus alongside a natural harbor formed by the whale's fins. Caelum disembarked onto the cloud shore, marveling at the sensation of walking on a surface both soft and solid, like spun sugar. He knelt to place an instrument, an echo harp, crafted to capture ethereal sounds, against the cloud surface. As the harp's strings plucked themselves, melodies bloomed in the air, lullabies that rose and fell in soothing arcs, as if sung by celestial beings. Transfixed, Caelum closed his eyes, allowing the lullabies to weave through him. He watched as stardust-dusted birds flitted across the whale's back, their tiny silhouettes leaving arcs of light in their wake. He sketched each feature swiftly, using enchanted ink that glowed faintly under moonlight. The harp's final chord rang softly, then faded, leaving a reverent calm settling over the island. Before Caelum could linger further, the sky compass pulsed again, nudging him onward. "We must chart other realms tonight," Rian reminded gently. With a final glance at the whale's sleeping form, Caelum returned to Nimbus. As they rose into the sky once more, he tucked the echo harp safely into his satchel, eager to see what other mysteries awaited in the moonlit expanse. The sky compass pulsed with soft luminescence, its arrow shifting to a new direction, toward a region of swirling pastel clouds that danced like brushstrokes across the midnight sky. Nimbus angled gently, guided by Rian's steady hand, as Caelum settled at the bow, his satchel rattling with instruments. The echo harp, his glowing sketchbook, and a slender wand tipped with crystal to measure cloud density. Below them, a tapestry of violet and silver clouds parted to reveal the entrance to the rainbow vine maze. A labyrinth wreathed in vibrant tendrils of colored mist that twisted and curled overhead. As they descended, Caelum glimpsed the maze walls. Thick columns of glowing azure and rose-hued vapor intertwined like braided ropes. Drifts of opalescent light drifted through gaps, casting kaleidoscopic patterns on the maze floor. Perched atop the highest vines were the sleepy owls, guardians whose drooping eyelids and soft hoots punctuated the stillness with gentle echoes. Their feathers shimmered with dewdrop-like shimmer, and their presence demanded both reverence and careful steps, for the owls would only stir if the maze's rules were broken. One must walk slowly, speak in whispers, and follow the subtle guidance of moonlit reflections. Nimbus settled on a broad cloud bank just beyond the maze's entrance. Rian secured the vessel with moonbeam ropes and whispered, "Remember, Caelum, the maze shifts with each moonrise. Trust the sky compass and let the owl's guidance be your compass within." With that, he bowed his head and retreated to tend the ship. Caelum stepped onto the soft ground, feeling the gentle give of cloud beneath his boots. Ahead, the vines arched overhead, forming a luminescent tunnel that hummed with quiet magic. He paused, recalling that the enchanted inhabitants of this realm spoke in harmonies rather than words. Pocketing the echo harp, he slid the sky compass from beneath his cloak. Its arrow pointed slightly to the left, though the vines ahead split in 3 directions, each equally inviting. Choosing to trust the compass, Caelum turned left, moving deliberately, one careful step after another. A hush fell as he entered the corridor. Tiny glimmers of lavender dew collected on the vines, and each droplet reflected a fragment of the moon's glow. Soft hoots drifted from the higher branches, as though the owls observed his progress. Every few paces, the vines formed natural alcoves where small cloud springs bubbled, releasing gentle puffs of cool mist. Caelum dipped his wand into the mist, capturing a faint rainbow sheen that he later transferred to a vial for study. Midway through the maze, he reached a clearing where the vines separated into spiraling loops. Above, a small congregation of sleepy owls watched with half-lidded eyes. As if sensing his presence, they began to hoot in a slow, measured rhythm, an invitation to follow their pattern. Caelum realized that the maze's true path lay not solely in trusting the sky compass, but in synchronizing with the owl's melody. He matched his steps to the hoots, slow, then a pause, then 2 quiet steps. Each time he aligned with their cadence, the vines ahead parted slightly, forming a clearer avenue. With steady breath, Caelum advanced, his heart calm and his mind centered. The owl's song guided him to the heart of the labyrinth, where a vast circular chamber opened. Here, the vines spiraled overhead to form a grand dome of shifting colors: emerald, cerulean, and rose, all swirling in hypnotic arcs. At the center lay a shallow pool of liquid starlight, rippling with silence. As Caelum approached, he knelt and traced its surface with his fingertip. Concentric ripples radiated outward, each carrying a different wavelength of color. Information that, once recorded, would reveal the maze's ever-changing structure. He set down his sketchbook and using enchanted ink, captured the swirling patterns of wine and light. The echo harp, placed gently by his side, began to hum with soft resonance, allowing the chamber's own harmony to imprint upon the harp's strings. In that space, time felt suspended, a delicate stillness broken only by the whispered hoots of the owls and Caelum's quiet breaths. But as the chamber's colors began to shift more rapidly, signaling that the maze was preparing to reconfigure, Caelum rose, pocketing the vial of rainbow mist and gathering his notes. The sky compass pulsed again, gently urging him onward. With one final glance at the luminescent dome, he followed its guidance toward the next hidden realm, ready to chart the mirror lake of memories before the first light of dawn eroded these wonders into dreams. The sky compass's light dimmed to a soft, steady glow, its arrow pointing toward a region where clouds gathered like billowing curtains. Nimbus drifted silently, skimming over a sea of silver mist as Caelum held the compass before him. Soon, the clouds parted to reveal a vast, glassy expanse floating between two pillowy ridges. The mirror lake of memories. Beneath the moon's reflection, the lake's surface shimmered as though woven from liquid moonlight. Along its edges grew lily pads formed of pearly cloud, each one cradling a small glowing orb. These orbs pulsed gently, revealing fleeting images of memories, moments captured from those who had slept beneath the night sky. A mother's lullaby, a child's first steps, an old friend's laughter. Caelum's breath caught as he realized that this realm held the collective dreams of countless souls. Nimbus came to rest on a soft bank of cloud, shaped like a crescent moon. Rian, standing at the helm, nodded to Caelum. The mirror lake reveals what was once felt, but it also reveals what must be released. Take only what is needed to fulfill the sky compass's guidance. Stepping onto the pearlescent bank, Caelum felt a subtle pull from the lake's surface, as though it beckoned him to peer into its depths. He knelt and gently touched the water with a single fingertip. At once, the surface rippled and an image formed. A young boy he had once known in his village, chasing fireflies at dusk. In the next moment, it shifted to a memory of his own mother, reading him bedtime stories beneath a lantern's glow. Caelum withdrew his hand, heart fluttering. Though these images were tender and familiar, his purpose here was not sentiment, but discovery. From his satchel, he produced the Dreamcatcher lens, an enchanted crystal meant to capture the essence of memories without holding on to them. He held the lens above the water, and as moonlight passed through it, faint specters of memory danced within the crystal's facets. At the far end of the lake, Caelum noticed a raised platform of cloud, atop which sat a small carved pedestal. Upon that pedestal rested a delicate silver chalice, etched with symbols he recognized from the elders' teachings, the merge of past, present, and future. He approached slowly, mindful of the floating orbs that hovered above the lily pads. Each orb released a soft sigh as he passed, like the exhalation of a sleeping soul. Reaching the pedestal, Caelum set the Dreamcatcher lens beside the chalice. The sky compass pulsed insistently, and he realized that to complete this realm's mapping, he must fill the chalice with the purest memory essence. He dipped the chalice's rim into the water, and the image of his mother's voice reading verses shimmered up, filling the chalice. Its surface glowed with pale, silvery light. Yet the compass's pulse quickened, signaling urgency. This realm would vanish at dawn. Caelum lifted the chalice and poured its contents into the lens. A series of soft chimes echoed as the memory essence condensed into a swirling mote of light inside the crystal. He felt both sorrow and gratitude. Sorrow for releasing that tender memory, but gratitude for having known it. Suddenly, a ripple spread across the lake as dawn's first hues tinted the horizon. Moonlight waned, and the memories on the lily pads flickered like dying stars. Caelum pocketed the sealed lens and stepped back. The lake's surface rippled one last time, then stilled, transforming into the faint residue of mist. Nimbus hovered at the edge of the bank, awaiting his return. Caelum climbed aboard as the compass flickered and then pointed toward a dark shape on the horizon, the swirling maw of the storm gate. His pulse quickened. The final trial of this night's journey loomed. Nimbus soared toward a gathering cluster of dark, brooding clouds that roiled like a tempest contained. The sky compass pulsed rapidly, its glow intensifying as though sensing the danger ahead. Caelum gripped the rail, steadying himself as Ryan guided the ship closer to the swirling vortex. The storm gate, a swirling curtain of thunderous grey and streaks of violet lightning. The storm gate tests both mind and heart, Ryan cautioned, voice low. Beyond it lies the domain of the Moonlight Fox and the first fragment of the Lost Star map. Beware. The gate will attempt to sweep away your resolve. Stay focused. As Nimbus plunged into the vortex, wind howled and lightning crackled across the mast. Inside the gate's swirling tunnel, clouds bent and twisted in impossible shapes, jagged spirals that threatened to tear the ship from the sky. Caelum swallowed the first gasp of fear, recalling the compass's steady glow around his neck. He closed his eyes for a moment, letting the compass's hum center him. When he opened them, Nimbus was plunging into a calm beyond the storm, entering a realm bathed in silver luminescence. There, crowned by a giant floating moonlit archway, sat the Moonlight Fox, a creature of ethereal grace. Its fur shimmered with pearlescent white, and eyes glowed like twin moons. Beneath its paws lay a single, star-shaped fragment, the first piece of the Lost Star map, etched with silver constellations that flickered like living stars. The Moonlight Fox spoke in a voice that echoed like gentle wind chimes. Brave cartographer, to earn this fragment, you must answer my riddle. Fail, and you will be turned back. Caelum stepped onto the cloud-like ground, the sky compass stilled in his hand. Ryan remained on Nimbus, silent but watchful. The fox raised its head, tail curling in arcs of moonlight, and asked, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Caelum's heart beat faster as he considered the riddle. He recalled the echoing halls of the whale-shaped island and the hushed harmonies of the rainbow vine maze. He sensed the answer on the tip of his tongue. "An echo," he replied confidently. The Moonlight Fox's eyes gleamed with approval. With a flick of its tail, the star-shaped fragment floated upward, merging into the sky compass's glow before drifting into Caelum's satchel. "Well answered," the fox intoned. "The second fragment awaits in the heart of the Thundercloud Keep." But time wanes, dawn approaches. With that, the fox vanished in a swirl of starlight, and Nimbus reappeared, billowing in as if summoned. Caelum climbed aboard, clutching the map fragment as the compass pulsed once again toward a towering cumulonimbus fortress. Far on the horizon, the thundercloud keep. The journey to the keep was swift but perilous. Dark clouds thundered overhead, and shards of lightning flashed across the sky. Nimbus weaved through jagged cloud pillars, each crackling with electricity. Rian maintained a steady course, coaxing the ship forward. At last, they reached an enormous fortress sculpted from storm clouds. Black, spiraling towers crowned with flickering lightning. As they approached, a thunderous roar echoed like a challenge. Nimbus landed on a floating platform at the keep's entrance, where two towering figures loomed. Guardians formed of pure thunder and mist, eyes glowing bright with violet lightning. Caelum drew the sky compass forward. "They guard the fragment," he whispered to Rian, "but I must retrieve it." The guardian stirred, forming a barrier of crackling electricity. Caelum raised his hand, allowing the compass's starlight to radiate outward, wrapping him in a soft glow that pushed back the storm's fury. Stepping forward, he approached the keep's massive doors, gates of swirling mist and thunder. As his hand touched the threshold, a voice rumbled from within. "Only those who reconcile fear and courage may pass." Caelum closed his eyes, recalling each challenge of the night. The whale's lullabies, the owl's guidance, and the moonlight fox's riddle. Drawing strength from those memories, he whispered, "I will face the storm with courage and an open heart." The gates parted, and inside, at the heart of a vast, thunderous chamber, floated the second fragment, an intricate shard etched with constellations and pulsing with electric blue light. As Caelum stepped closer, wisps of storm cloud formed swirling barriers around the fragment. Drawing upon the compass's steady glow, Caelum reached out and touched the fragment, feeling its electric pulse resonate with his own heartbeat. Lightning arced around him, but rather than recoiling, he stood firm, embracing the storm's raw energy. In that instant, The fragment merged into the sky compass's light, and the chamber stilled. The guardians bowed their heads as the storm's roar receded. Nimbus was there once more, ready to carry Caelum away. He clutched the compass, now adorned with two fractal lights, one silver, one electric blue. Above the horizon, dawn's rosy hues began to stir. The final challenge, the return before sunrise, looms ahead. With a steady breath, Caelum and Ryan set course toward home, determined to chart every memory of this night before the sun banishes the clouds into dreams. As Nimbus glided away from the thundercloud keep, the first blush of sunrise tinted the horizon with rose and gold. Caelum secured the sky compass close to his heart, its three glowing fragments, silver from the mirror lake, electric blue from the thundercloud keep, and pearlescent white from the storm gate, pulsing in unison. Ryan guided the ship through thinning clouds as Caelum's thoughts drifted to the village of Lyriel, where the sun's rays would soon awaken slumbering homes and fields. "We must hurry," Ryan murmured, voice gentle yet urgent. The sky compasses magic wanes with daylight. If the fragments fade, all tonight's charts will dissolve into mist. Caelum nodded, eyes fixed on the shifting sky. The clouds that had once cradled him in wonder now blurred, soft edges losing their luster as dawn approached. He retrieved the enchanted satchel from beneath his cloak. Within lay the echo harp, the dreamcatcher lens, and the vial of rainbow mist. Each artifact represented a chapter of the night's journey, and each would inform the maps he would later share with the village. Below, Lyriel's rooftops glowed with the warmth of dawn. Caelum felt a mix of relief and sadness. Relief that he would return to familiar faces. Sadness that the night's wonders would soon fade from the sky. Will I remember it all? He wondered, voice barely a whisper. Ryan offered a reassuring smile. Memories gathered in our hearts are never truly lost, and you carry the sky compass and its fragments. They will guide you, even when the realms vanish into daylight. As Nimbus descended through the final veil of clouds, Caelum glimpsed the cliffs where his journey had begun. The village appeared peaceful, its streets quiet, beneath the rising sun. With careful precision, Ryan landed the cloud ship on the same cloud platform that had carried Caelum aloft hours before. The moment Caelum's boots touched the solid ground, the sky compass's glow softened, its fragments dissolving into the silver needle that now pointed steadfastly toward the east, symbolizing new beginnings. The cloud beneath Nimbus dispersed into a soft mist that drifted upward, merging with distant morning clouds that bore no hint of the night's enchantments. Caelum stepped off the ship, heart swelling with gratitude. He offered Ryan a deep bow. "Thank you for guiding me," he said earnestly. "I will carry these memories and charts with care." Ryan's eyes sparkled like polished moonstones. "Your journey has only begun. One day, you will map the skies for others who seek wonder. But for now, rest. The village awaits your return." With that, Ryan faded into a wisp of cloud, leaving Caelum alone beneath the gentle morning light. He clutched the satchel to his chest and began the walk down the cobblestone path toward Lyriel. As he approached the village square, lanterns still flickered in windows, and a few villagers lingered, surprised to see him so early. Elders emerged, their faces alight with pride and relief. "You've returned," Astriel exclaimed, stepping forward. "May we hear of your voyage?" Caelum nodded, modest warmth settling in his chest. He opened his satchel and retrieved the Dreamcatcher lens. Holding it aloft, he allowed the crystal's facets to catch the gentle morning light, revealing a swirl of muted colors, a fragment of the rainbow vine maze's essence. Gasps of wonder rippled through the gathering. Next, he presented the sealed chalice from the mirror lake. Though its silvery glow had dimmed, its presence conveyed the depth of memories he'd collected and released. Finally, he touched the sky compass's hushed glow, its arrow pointing toward the sky where new adventures awaited. With each relic, Caelum recounted the whale-shaped island's lullabies, the owl's guidance through the rainbow vine maze, the mirror lake's tender reflections, the moonlight fox's riddle, and the storm's electric trials at the Thundercloud Keep. As he spoke, villagers listened in rapt silence, their spirits lifted by tales of marvels that had once seemed impossible. When the sun fully climbed above the rooftops, Caelum's voice softened. I have mapped these realms tonight, he concluded, and I will share these charts with you, so our people will always know the treasures that drift among the clouds. Yet now, I must rest. Tomorrow, I will begin transcribing the maps and recording the night's melodies. The villagers cheered, offering grateful embraces and words of admiration. Caelum felt a deep sense of belonging. His journey's end entwined with a new beginning, preserving and sharing wonders that, though hidden by daylight, would live forever in memory. That afternoon, as Caelum settled at his wooden desk under soft lamplight, he began to draw the first lines of his legendary maps, each cloud path intricately detailed, each melody and memory noted with care. Outside, the village thrummed with life, yet Caelum's heart remained tethered to the drifting realms above. He knew that with each moonrise, Nimbus would beckon once more, and he would answer, eager to discover new skies. And so, dear listeners, rest now beneath your blankets, for the night will rise again. Perhaps when the world sleeps, you too will dream of floating labyrinths and singing islands. And if you listen closely, somewhere in the hush of dawn you may hear the echo of a harp or the whispered hoot of distant owls, calling you to adventures beyond the clouds. Good night, and sweet dreams.